So this is how they manage these people, is through these metrics in here. So if I go into here and I say it's a prospect, right? I'm gonna go meet with them tomorrow at 2:00. Don't have to have an end time, but whatever. Make it go away.
There you go.
Okay, so this is the ticket everybody's constantly putting in. I put my notes in about my client visit and they don't show up anywhere. Because this is not where you put your notes.
Just wait for
Oh, look at this. Everybody knows.
I know.
Okay, Ron, what do we click on?
So it's over to the right under the advanced, right? It's advanced view. Thank you. Yes. That's
Not to the right, to the left.
And now it's to the right, and that's where you put in.
This
the
is
body.
where we put our note.
Yay, Ron!
This side of the screen over here, from a technical standpoint, is in the scheduled items table in eRecruit. This is all about scheduled items. On the right is about notes. And this is what they're looking for, is a note. And that note's not there because it's in here, which only goes to Outlook and doesn't show up in eRecruit anywhere.
I could see why it would be like this, because they're supposed to be like, put the schedule item in first,
Then go
wait
back
2
and-
days, and then add a note.
But they go out and they do
Yeah.
all their client interviews and then they come
Then
back
they're
in,
like,
because I let
crap,
them
I gotta-
backdate it.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can backdate and put stuff in here.
I see how it
They don't
goes.
always,
So-
they're supposed to be on the road. We wanted
Yeah.
to make it easy for them to go in and put their stuff in here so they can go back and put stuff in it.
See how-
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like easy.
If life was meant to be easy, you think we'd
It
be
used to be
working?
easier until eRecruit made it better.
That was subjective.
No hard finance call 3.1.
That's a-
3.1 fun.
3-point fun. Yes, I saw that in her email. She goes, the 3-point fun never ends.
What was that?
Melissa Klein. When the
Nice.
timesheets wouldn't create the other day.
Nice.
So this is where they put their note in afterwards. See, right now they don't have to do anything. And what I was trying to do to fix this is to make, I have the ability now to make note actions not required.
Oh,
And so this is a required note action. I ended up having to put it back because it was screwing people up by not having them do it. If I could get this to clear out, which I can't, and nobody at eRecruit can either, take the default meeting out of here, then they would have to go to the screen or it wouldn't let them save the client visit. I can't do it. eRecruit couldn't do it. Nobody can figure out why it won't let me get this out of here.
That
So,
sounds kind of,
like eRecruit,
yeah.
get used to it. This is how it works, or not. Okay, so I've set my client visit, and in a real world, what's supposed to happen is I did this a week before it was going to happen, right? So once it saves, which could take a little while. I do have a hard stop at 2. I have Jordan. So now, here's my client visits. This is the other thing everybody's confused about. I can't confirm my client visits or my client interviews. Because used to, in a great world, all of your options to do something was here. Now there's nothing but delete, so people are coming down here and they're deleting them. So I had to go change all the reports to not show deleted client visits. Right? Remember?
And they deleted it because why?
Because there's no
That
other
button
option.
right there, and they don't know what else to do. They're just like, oh, this must be what I check now.
so let me delete it.
But it was before. That's got to be right. Why did you delete
Right,
it?
but now you have to right-click here, and then in these gray buttons, put your cursor over it to see if you've done it yet or not. See, it says incomplete, so this has not been completed. So once I've done
Yeah.
this client visit, what I'm supposed to do is come back in here and go edit,
Add the note.
add your note as to what happened in the correct field, right? Which means now I have to do this, put a note action in, and it can just say note. It doesn't have to say, it's not going to say client visit. It can just say,
Meet event, whatever.
Oh, right.
No action.
usually just
No,
note,
no.
whatever, right? Or scheduled meeting, whatever they want to put there. This doesn't matter. That doesn't count to their metric. This counts to their metric. This metric only counts by the scheduled item type, not by the note. And then this is where they put their notes about the meeting, right? That's what they're looking for that they can't find because they stuck it here. I did actually think about a knowledge sync job to copy it from there to there if it was empty, but it's too much trouble. Because you can have one scheduled item with 15 notes against it,
Yeah, you don't know which one.
and you don't know which one
Yeah,
is supposed to be done, right?
I mean, you can do it on the date.
So at this time, they can just do the save incomplete,
Oh, okay, yeah.
or just do save.
Does it work when you do the save and complete?
It does. And then this is how you confirm it. It does not count on their metrics till they confirm that it happened. They can set up as many as they want. That's why they're putting tickets in, because they're like, wait a minute, all my client visitors aren't showing up on the metric report. Right?
Stop paying the
And was this the issue, the one that we talked about the other week, right? When only one client visit, is this when one client visit counts per match?
No, that
That's
is a
different,
client
right?
interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's just how that metric works. So what Alvaro was talking about is
Client-
one of the metrics that the recruiters and AEs both have is client interviews. That happens at the match. So what that means is that we sent the candidate to the client and they interviewed them. You're supposed, so it's a ratio. How many submittals to how many of those went to client interview to how many of those we got to start. So if you have, sometimes there may be 3 to 5 interviews on one match. Only the first one counts forever. So they're calling saying, I just did another one. I just did another one. It's not counting. It's not counting. It only counts the first time. Even if that was a month ago, you're still only going to get credit for one interview because it's not for every interview. It's for the fact that there was one completed interview on this match, which means we put someone in front of the client.
With metrics, I can help because
Yes.
I have
She knows those very well.
You have the power?
You see it that way?
well, because I had to create KPIs and we had to mirror how it's recorded in the group. So I'm pretty much.
So you have the Coke bottle glass.
And I gave Alvaro my laminated cards, the only set of laminated metric cards left in this whole company.
Because they are on each
I
SharePoint.
begged and
So
begged
you have the
Michael and
square
them to do
caramel
it,
piece now.
Yeah, that was
to
nice.
make more laminated cards, but they won't.
They are on SharePoint.
I have them. You can
Oh, give them to you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave them to her.
So,
Oh, so
there
you
you
have
go.
the square
That's
caramel.
okay.
That's
I have
okay.
metrics.
You'd rather me pass that buck to her anyhow.
Never mind.
All right,
Lou?
everybody good? We
So-
talked
Yeah.
about.
No, so there it's, can you see that it's completed? Or you have to,
Yeah, it says complete.
you have to dig into it?
Right now it
Yes,
says incomplete.
sadly you do.
Oh, on the.
On the outside, it does not tell you.
Wow.
But if I go to the notes, and this is what they're looking for, right? They're going into the notes tab
You're
to
not
find
seeing
their
anything?
notes, and there's nothing there.
Because.
Yeah, where are all the
Put it
notes?
in the
Yeah.
description,
Wait,
not
it's
in-
thinking, this is
not in the
e-test.
notes tab.
Oh,
There you go.
So you can see here,
Yeah.
it was a client visit, and here's the notes. This is missing, this is what they're looking
Oh, right.
for, and that's because they didn't put it in the right.
Put it in
They
the
put it in
description.
They put in description, not.
Yes, which is not gonna, because this is, look, the notes tab, not the scheduled items tab,
Yep.
right?
But even if they put in the description, schedule items.
It's not
they
gonna
won't-
show
it
up
won't
here.
show up, right.
No, it won't show up here. It might show up in the scheduled items report or search. There's a scheduled item search. So someone will say, I've been putting all my client visits in, but none of them counted. I did not want to do that. If I looked at my computer screen, I could probably do this a lot better. Scheduled item search. So, I don't know,
Hey.
Chris Hickey says, I have been putting in my client visits and they're not showing up. So I go back for however long he says they haven't been showing up, right? And you don't have to put a to date in here. If you just leave 2 blank, that's all the way to now. That does not count on my reports because I don't know how to do that.
No.
And then I'm going to say created by, and I'm going to pick
Chris.
Chris Hickey. They have access to this, but they don't know how to use it. I don't want them create, and this thing defaults to myself, which really, really annoys me. And then you want to pick the type. And I'm going to say client visit active, client visit prospect, right? So now this is going to show me every
And candidate
Client-
something. There's the third one.
of the candidate meetings, but they wouldn't do that. That would be a recruiter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do, but I don't think they use it. Even though it's there, I don't think they know to use that.
Yeah.
So this will show me everyone that Chris Hickey has created during that time frame. And you can see they can actually complete it in here if they want to, which is kind of nice. They can edit it in here. They can do all that. But this will help you figure out what they're doing wrong. Sometimes it'll be a recruiter saying that my client interview is not counting on my match. Come do the same thing in here, but don't put the type in and see what they're doing. They're probably setting it as a corporate interview, which is supposed to be only the corporate recruiters use that, so their metrics won't count if they put it as a corporate interview.
They
Right?
have to be client interview.
Or client
Is it
prospect.
complex enough for you?
Hiring for the company?
Exactly. All right. So
Do you work?
Or
And
ask
Finn?
me and I will go to the back end and.
figure it out. Yeah. But I like this. The
Yeah.
search.
Good.
This search is actually pretty good. It's taken them 3 iterations of eRecruit before I would say I'm okay with not having the scheduled item report anymore, because they just kept leaving stuff out. And still, when you export this, I'm not sure it exports everything that we need. So I do still have access to the scheduled items report right here, which is something they've been trying to get rid of, but I won't let them get rid of it yet.
So where, and I'm sorry, I meant to ask you before you got out of it.
Mhm.
Where was if they put notes in the description, where would you have seen that? I didn't see
You
it.
don't.
You know,